All right, so get this. We're diving into the world of Moringa today.
Moringa.
Yeah, Moringa. It's got this crazy nickname, like the tree of life or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, our source today is totally buzzing about how Moringa could, like, revolutionize everything from, our health to how we farm.
Sounds pretty ambitious.
Right. But is it all hype, or is there something actually amazing about this plant?
Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Exactly. Let's deep dive into this.
The first thing that struck me about this source was just how many potential benefits they link to Moringa.
Like, what kind of benefits?
Oh, they even say it's one of the most complete and nutritious resources that exist.
Whoa, that's a bold statement. What makes it so special nutritionally?
Well, it's packed with antioxidants.
Okay.
And a whole bunch of vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
A, B, C, E, you name it.
Wow.
Plus, it's got essential minerals like calcium, potassium, iron.
Seriously?
And, get this, it even has all 9 essential amino acids.
No way. The building blocks of protein. So it's like the ultimate multivitamin, but it grows on a tree.
Pretty much. It really makes you wonder if it could be a game changer, especially in places where people don't have access to a variety of foods.
Yeah, especially nutritious foods, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the amount of nutrients.
What else is there?
It's also about how they all work together. Like the iron content, for example. That's super relevant for fighting iron deficiency anemia, which affects so many people.
So it's not just preventing malnutrition in general, it's about targeting specific deficiencies, like with the iron for anemia.
You got it. Iron is crucial for making hemoglobin,
Hemoglobin, remind me.
It's a protein in our red blood cells that carries oxygen around the body.
Ah, right.
And when you don't have enough iron, you can't make enough hemoglobin.
And then you get anemia.
Exactly. It can cause fatigue, weakness, all sorts of problems.
So Moringa, with all that iron, it can help your body make more hemoglobin.
That's the idea. It could be a natural way to boost those iron levels, especially where people don't have easy access to iron-rich foods or supplements.
Okay, that makes sense. So there's actual research on this.
Oh yeah, there's research.
Yeah.
A study in Frontiers in Nutrition suggested that Moringa could even help prevent chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and even some types of cancer.
Really?
Yeah, and there was this Iranian study that found that adding Moringa to people's diets actually improved nutrient absorption, lowered inflammation, and boosted their immune systems.
Wow, this tree of life nickname is really starting to make sense. But our source goes even further. They talk about how Moringa could help fight childhood malnutrition. And that's a huge problem, right?
Absolutely. The World Health Organization estimates over 45 million kids under 5 are suffering from acute malnutrition.
That's awful.
It is. And that's where Moringa's nutritional density could be so important. It's packed with iron, calcium, protein, all the things growing kids need.
So it could help prevent anemia and build strong bones in these kids. It's heartbreaking to think about how many kids are affected by this, but it's good to know that Moringa could actually help.
Yeah, and there are already groups putting this into action. The source mentions organizations in Africa and Asia who are adding Moringa to school meals.
What, like Moringa smoothies?
I don't know about smoothies specifically, but they are incorporating it into meals.
Cool. And it's working.
Yeah, they're seeing good results, like improvements in kids' growth and overall health. Imagine the impact if this could be done on a larger scale.
It's really inspiring to hear about these initiatives. It shows how Moringa could make a real difference. But wait, I think the source also mentioned something about using Moringa as animal feed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not just for people.
So, like, my dog could benefit from Moringa.
Well, maybe not your dog specifically, but livestock for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Adding it to their feed has been linked to better quality milk, meat, and eggs.
Whoa, so we're talking about improving the nutritional value of the food we eat on multiple levels here.
Exactly. And there's research to back this up. The Chinese Agricultural University found that adding Moringa to chicken feed boosted their growth and also made them less likely to get sick.
So healthier animals and more nutritious food for us. That's a win-win.
Okay, but hold on. Our source keeps going. They say Moringa can be used in agriculture itself.
Yeah, that's another surprising application. Moringa can actually be used as a fertilizer and pesticide.
Wait, what? How does that work?
Well, the leaves and extracts can be used as biofertilizers, and they act as natural pest repellents too.
Hold on. So Moringa can nourish us, it can feed our livestock, and now it can help us grow more food. This is getting wild.
I know, right? There's a study from the University of Nairobi that found Moringa extract could actually help crops grow better while also keeping pests away. It could be a natural alternative to all those synthetic chemicals we use.
So are we talking about a plant that could revolutionize sustainable agriculture?
It's definitely a possibility, but we've got to be realistic. There are bound to be challenges, too. Oh, absolutely. We can't just get carried away with all the good stuff. We need to look at the whole picture.
Right, we have to consider the logistics, the economics, and any potential downsides.
Good point. Stay tuned, everyone, as we unpack all of that and figure out if Moringa really lives up to the hype.
This deep dive is just getting started.
It's pretty amazing to think about all the things Moringa can do, but how do we actually make it happen?
Well, our source is pretty clear about that. They're calling for more support to really unlock Moringa's full potential.
Support from who?
Everyone, really. Governments, organizations, even individuals, they all have a role to play.
Okay, so it's not just about the science then. It's about putting that science into practice.
Exactly. And the source actually lays out a roadmap for how to do that. They highlight a few key areas where support is really needed.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the first step?
More research.
More. Didn't you say there was already a bunch of research on Moringa?
Yeah, but we need more, especially long-term studies to really understand Moringa's effects and how to use it safely and effectively.
Makes sense. You don't want to just jump in without knowing all the facts.
Right. And besides more research, they also call for more investment in Moringa.
Investment. Like money.
Yeah, investment in things like cultivation, processing, especially in those regions where Moringa could have the biggest impact.
So like supporting farmers who are growing Moringa.
Exactly. And developing sustainable farming practices.
Yeah.
And setting up processing facilities so people can actually use Moringa.
And that's where the economic impact comes in, right?
Yeah.
Creating jobs, boosting local economies.
Exactly. It's about sustainable development.
Helping people improve their lives while also taking care of the environment. I like it.
And the source also points to the role of governments in all of this.
Oh, so it's not just on individuals and organizations.
Right. Governments can create policies that encourage Moringa production and consumption.
Okay, so what kind of policies are we talking about?
Things like subsidies for Moringa farmers, to help them get started, or incorporating Moringa into national nutrition programs, even public health campaigns to raise awareness about Moringa.
So it's about making it easier for people to grow, process, and actually eat Moringa.
Exactly. It's about creating an environment where Moringa can thrive.
But wait, there's more, right? Didn't our source call Moringa an eco-warrior?
Oh yeah, they did. That was a pretty catchy way to put it.
So it's not just about food and nutrition, it's about the environment too.
Yeah, Moringa is incredibly eco-friendly. We've talked about how it can reduce our reliance on chemical fertilizers and pesticides, but it goes beyond that.
Okay, tell me more. How is Moringa an eco-warrior?
Well, for one, it's a tough plant. It can grow in really harsh conditions like dry areas with little water.
So it's perfect for regions facing water scarcity.
Exactly. It can thrive in those challenging environments and still provide a valuable source of food and nutrition.
And I bet it doesn't need a ton of resources to grow either, right?
Nope, it's pretty low maintenance. And that means it can actually help prevent deforestation and soil erosion.
Because people won't need to clear as much land for farming.
Right. So it's not just about producing food more efficiently, it's about protecting the environment at the same time.
Okay, this is all starting to sound almost too good to be true. Are there any downsides to Moringa?
Well, it's important to be realistic. Moringa isn't a magic solution. We have to consider both the benefits and the potential drawbacks.
Okay, fair enough. So what are some of the challenges with Moringa?
One of the big ones is quality control. We need to make sure that all Moringa products are safe and effective. That means having strict standards for growing and processing it.
Right, because people are going to be eating this stuff. We don't want anyone getting sick.
Exactly. Another challenge is just getting the word out about Moringa. It's still pretty unknown in a lot of places.
So it's an awareness problem.
Yeah, and we also need to educate people about how to use Moringa properly. There might be some misconceptions or skepticism out there.
People need to know the facts before they'll embrace something new.
Exactly. And we need to do a good job of communicating those facts. Just throwing a bunch of science at people isn't going to be enough.
Maybe we need more stories about Moringa, like real people whose lives have been changed by it.
That's a great idea. People connect with stories. And let's not forget about the economic side of things. It takes money to grow and process Moringa on a large scale.
So finding investors who believe in Moringa's potential.
Yeah, and making sure that Moringa production is profitable for the farmers, but also affordable for the people who need it.
It's a complex issue, that's for sure, but it sounds like there's a real movement building around Moringa.
There is. And our source actually highlights some amazing examples of this movement in action.
Like people and organizations who are already working with Moringa.
Yeah, people who are really making a difference.
I'm definitely interested to hear about that. So tell me more about these people and organizations making a difference with Moringa. What are they actually doing?
Oh, there are tons of great examples in the source. Like, there are groups working to integrate Moringa into school lunch programs in developing countries.
Ah, yeah, feeding those kids who need the nutrition most.
Exactly. And they're seeing incredible results. Kids are healthier, growing better.
That's so awesome. What else?
There are also organizations teaching farmers how to grow Moringa sustainably, so they can improve their livelihoods and their communities at the same time.
So Moringa's like this tool for economic empowerment, too.
Yeah, and some groups are even using Moringa to purify water.
Wait, how does that work?
Well, Moringa seeds have these amazing properties. They can actually remove impurities and bacteria from water.
Whoa, that's incredible. I mean, clean water is essential for, like, everything.
I know, right? And then there are companies creating all sorts of innovative Moringa products.
Like what?
Oh, everything. Moringa powder, capsules, teas, even skincare products.
Wow, so it's not just about eating the leaves anymore.
Nope. The possibilities are pretty much endless. But even with all this amazing work being done, there are still challenges, like how do we ensure the quality and safety of all these Moringa products?
Yeah, that's a good point. Especially as it gets more popular.
Right. We need clear standards and regulations to make sure people are getting safe and effective products.
And it's not just about the products themselves, it's about education too, right? Making sure people understand how to use Moringa properly.
Absolutely. We need to combat misinformation and make sure people have access to accurate, reliable information.
So there's still work to be done, but it sounds like the Moringa movement is gaining momentum.
It definitely is, and it's exciting to see so many people passionate about this plant and its potential.
Okay, so we've talked about the good, the bad, and the everything in between. What's the final verdict? Is Moringa really a miracle tree?
Well, I think it's more nuanced than that. Miracle tree might be a bit of an oversimplification.
Okay, so it's not going to solve all the world's problems overnight.
Right. But it definitely holds immense promise. There's solid scientific evidence, tons of potential applications, and so much passion driving this movement.
So it's not a magic bullet, but it's a pretty powerful tool.
Exactly. And maybe the most important lesson from all of this is that sometimes the solutions to our biggest challenges come from unexpected places.
Like from a humble tree growing in Africa and Asia.
Right. Moringa reminds us to keep an open mind and explore all the possibilities that nature has to offer.
That's a pretty inspiring message. So what can our listeners do if they want to learn more or get involved with the Moringa movement?
Oh, there are so many ways. There are tons of organizations doing amazing work with Moringa. You can donate, volunteer, or just spread the word.
Yeah, tell your friends, family, everyone. Get people excited about Moringa.
Exactly. And you can always do your own research, learn more about the science and the different ways Moringa is being used.
The more people who know about it, the better. Maybe Moringa will be a household name someday.
I hope so. It has the potential to make a real difference in the world.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating world of Moringa.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
Likewise. And to our listeners, thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery. We hope you learned something new and maybe even got a little inspired along the way. Until next time, stay curious.